With that said, let's go ahead and dive into a busy Wednesday night of college hoops. I'll say this, last Wednesday of the college hoop season, and it felt like there was a lot at stake. So we're going to talk about everything, but I think the only real place to start is in Columbia, South Carolina, where the Tennessee Vols went to South Carolina. South Carolina ranked in the top 20. Many believe that Lamont Paris should probably be maybe National Coach of the Year, certainly SEC Coach of the Year, and Tennessee with the chance to clinch the SEC outright, okay? And when I look at Tennessee, this is what stands out to me. I have said all year, I believe this team is different, but it was a week and a half ago they destroyed Texas A&M at home, 4 games left in the regular season, and I remember saying, if this team really is the best team in the SEC, they are going to have a chance to earn it, okay? Last week they beat Auburn at home, but then look at what the schedule was. It was at Alabama, at South Carolina. A week ago, going into the weekend, remember, Tennessee and Alabama were tied atop the SEC standings. South Carolina was in third. So to win the SEC title, you had to beat essentially the second and third best teams in the league on the road, and they do it. Congratulations to the Tennessee Volunteers, your 2024 SEC champs. And when I look at this game, a couple things stand out. One, incredible win. But two, this is a lot of like what we talked about on Saturday when it came to the game at Alabama. Everybody wants to talk Dalton Knecht. And listen, I was a guy a week ago pushing for him potentially for National Player of the Year. Well, he was awesome on Wednesday night. But you know why Tennessee won this game? It is because Tennessee once again locked in on defense. Credit to the Tennessee Vols as they held South Carolina, and I know South Carolina isn't an elite offensive team, but they held South Carolina to 59 points on their home court. And oh, by the way, how about this? 38% shooting from the field, 27% shooting from three. And so you look at this Tennessee team. Listen, we all get caught up with Dalton Knecht, but the bottom line is this team is once again elite defensively. And so when you're elite defensively, guess what happens? You're in every game, and then you have the dude that can put you over the top in Dalton Knecht. And so all I'll say about Tennessee, listen, man, I keep saying it, and I keep getting criticized, and people keep saying every time I say something nice about Tennessee, Torres, they're overrated. Rick Barnes is going to lose in March like he always does, okay? Well, one, there's only one guy that wins the championship. There's only one guy that gets cut down the nets at the end of the year. But two, on top of that, here's the thing about Tennessee. I really do believe this team is different because there have been years they were great in the regular season. One, the SEC wasn't this good. This is the best SEC that I can ever remember. Florida's good. South Carolina's good. Ole Miss is not a pushover. Mississippi State is not a pushover. Georgia's not a pushover. So outside of Missouri, outside of Vandy, there are no auto wins in this league. And so I bring it up because it's the best conference ever, but this team I really feel like is different. It doesn't guarantee anything in March in the NCAA tournament, but I believe they truly do have all the pieces because it's not just about the defense, but they have the guy that can get you 30 or 40 on any given night. So congrats to the Tennessee Vols. The defense showed up on the road. They earned this one. They have Kentucky on Saturday. The SEC has been clinched, but you talk about a great game. We're going to get to Kentucky in a minute because I was blown away by how they were just able to run away from Vandy on Wednesday night. We'll talk about that in a minute. But congrats to Tennessee. 2 quick thoughts on Tennessee before we switch gears and get to Kentucky. I think this is going to be a little bit of a quicker one of these reactionary shows. But first off, let me say this. Producer Matt, can you throw up the tweet from earlier tonight? So I saw a tweet. So I have 2 Tennessee thoughts that drove me crazy. First of all, Andrew Perlov, who I think is with CBS Sports Radio right now. Did you see this tweet? Whining because Dalton Knecht had the audacity to point to his ring finger after Tennessee won the SEC championship, okay? So Andrew Perlov, CBS Sports Radio, says, winning a regular season SEC title gets the ring celebration. Dalton Knecht is incredible, but gotta have bigger tournament goals. Can I just say, that is some loser. I'm just going to say it. I don't care. He's not my friend. I don't know who Andrew Perloff is, and I don't generally criticize other media members, but I'm going to say it. That's some loser beta energy right there, okay? Because here's the bottom line. First of all, think about who Dalton Knecht is. Think about the fact that this was a guy that 4 years ago had 0 Division I scholarship offers. He went to a JUCO in, what was it? I think it was Colorado. Goes to a JUCO in Colorado. From there, goes to Northern Colorado. Last year, he was on a terrible Northern Colorado team. So 4 years ago, he doesn't even know if he's ever going to have the chance to play D1. Last year, he's at Northern Colorado. He goes to Tennessee. He picks Tennessee. He is the piece that helped get them to an SEC title. And you're complaining because this guy, who never could have imagined in his wildest dreams that he would play at this level in front of 18, 20,000 people a night, is celebrating? Give me a break. Here's the other thing about this. So I'm a UConn guy. We're going to talk UConn Marquette in a minute. Here is the crazy thing about this, though. Keep in mind, UConn, and we talked about it on Monday's show, they clinched the Big East title at home on Sunday afternoon against Seton Hall. We talked to Hassan Diarra about it on Monday. But UConn, after winning the Big East title, remember, UConn won the national championship last year. UConn cut down the nets at home. And as Hassan Diarra told us on Monday, he said, we wanted to celebrate and soak in that moment a year's worth of hard work. So forgive Dalton Knecht for having the audacity to be happy that he just won a ring and put up a banner in Thompson Bowling Arena that will be there as long as they play basketball in Knoxville, as long as the Tennessee Vols play. So congrats to Tennessee. The only other Tennessee thought is this. I actually think they have the inside track for the 4th number 1 seed right now. So I don't really see a scenario where Purdue, Houston, and UConn, all 3 of those teams, it feels to me, are going to get the number 1 seeds. Tennessee and Arizona really are the 2 teams that I believe have kind of the inside track to get that 4th number 1 seed. So I'll be blunt. I've been high on Arizona all year. I still am. I keep telling Tennessee fans, be careful what you wish for, because you get that number 1 seed in the West and Arizona's the 2 seed, you're going to be basically playing a road game in the Elite Eight if you get Arizona. But it doesn't change the fact that when you look at this game, or you look at this situation, Tennessee, I believe, is in a great position to get the 4th number 1 seed. In theory, you beat Kentucky, you're probably in pretty good shape going to the SEC tournament. But I think if you win the SEC tournament, certainly if you beat Kentucky, you're getting it. If you don't beat Kentucky, then it gets a little precarious. It will be interesting. I still think they have the inside track because Arizona just isn't going to have big games. And it kind of sucks for Arizona. UCLA and USC, who they're playing this weekend, are not good. So to me, Tennessee has the inside track on that 4th number 1 seed. Now, it is worth noting. It is worth noting. Any Tennessee fan will tell you, any Kentucky fan will tell you. We kind of have a history of the SEC championship game really not meaning much for seeding purposes. So just be warned there, because who the heck knows? Maybe Tennessee has, a bunch of success and wins the SEC tournament and it doesn't end up mattering. I don't know. But to me, I feel like this is the team that should have the 4th number 1 seed, depending on what they do, depending on what Arizona does going forward. But congrats to Tennessee on winning the SEC title.